Hello everyone, and welcome to Pros and Cons of the video game Bye Sweet Carole on Not Now Mom, I'm Gaming. These are short videos featuring gameplay clips or screenshots so as not to show too much in the spoiler department. Links to this review are in the description below. Let the reviewing begin. Pros. Doesn't handhold. I commend the game for not going down the hand-holding route and giving hints on what you need to do. It's not difficult to beat the game, I wouldn't say, but there are areas where you'll just end up doing the wrong thing constantly and become agitated enough that you might want to look up what you're supposed to do. That was the case with me regarding the plant. It's not terribly wide in its areas to search for clues on what you need to do, so if you've collected everything and there's nothing more to interact with, it might just be something you missed in your inventory. Specifically, something you probably need to combine, which is something that can be easily overlooked in the game within the first half, I'd say. Emotional. Despite all the moments this game triggered my misery of not being able to get through a place and the anger of the constant back and forth clock sequence, I'll be darned if it didn't do a good job with that ending. I was not expecting to get even remotely emotional regarding what might have happened, but they managed to prove me wrong. That's right, Kay does get emotional. Just not terribly weepy. More of a lips pressed together, frowny face because nobody wants to face their emotions head on, even alone. But yeah, if you can make it to the end, I think it's worth it. Everything in between, well, that all generates a different mix of emotions that we won't talk about here. Relaxing dance sequences. At first I was going to complain that they were too slow while doing them in-game, and don't get me wrong, they are rather on the slow side, and I still managed to get the last sequence wrong. But looking back on those portions, they were probably the most relaxing parts of the game. You can just lean back and chill for a little while, pressing the appropriate buttons, or not, until it's over and you do it a second time. Then the relaxation session is over and it's off into survival horror once again. Hand-drawn and animated. Well, I couldn't keep this out of the pros, even if I tried, because this is what people want, for the most part. And it's not often that we come across early-style animated games that remind us of old-school Disney shows and the like. I think this is what pulled me in the most, because it reminded me of the other games I played, like Behind the Frame and Forgotten Anne, and even Fetch. Though it's not quite like Fetch. It just makes me think of that game. Cons. Hard time knowing what to do. I noticed on the Steam discussions that a lot of people were mentioning getting soft-locked on various chapters, and I actually thought that might have happened to me at one point because the game kept telling me to do something when I'd already done it. Turns out I needed to do something entirely different than what the game kept suggesting, which is a bit of an annoyance. I've been trying to figure out a way to do this one thing that I've already done, going back and forth in time over and over again, and you're telling me I'd already done the right thing, which I knew I had, and I need to move on to the next step. Come on. Gameplay is clunky. Others have said it, and I'd have to agree. Some things are smooth, like the transitions between characters and even the shape-shifting aspect, but some stuff just feels off as you play it. I think for me, it's that sometimes the characters just didn't want to move when I wanted them to move after first going through a doorway. Or in a chase sequence, the climbing and jumping on things aspect really ruins a quick getaway. If you're the rabbit, you hope to jump on top of something and over, but if you do it wrong, you're going to jump onto the side of the thing and not make it over, because the next jump will take you backwards. Also, sometimes the game forces you into an alcove to hide, which is confusing because for the most part, you're the one pressing the button to hide in the first place, meaning if it does it for you and you press the button, you're going to pop out and get caught. Super annoying on the game's end. And that's the end of our pros and cons review of Bye Sweet Carole. Thanks for watching, everyone, and don't get in too much trouble when you say, "Not now, Mom, I'm gaming."